Hello and welcome to a new video, and today we are on MS Amera of Reisen, German cruise operator, and in this video you will see the first 3 days of our cruise, and here on the map you can see the route on those 3 days. We are starting in Bremerhaven on the first day with the embarkation, then we have a day at sea, and then we will be in Vik in Norway. We are starting around 2 o'clock. When I arrived in Bremerhaven, as I had told you in the last flight video, I flew from Croatia, where I was working on a ship, to Düsseldorf, then took my car to Bremerhaven, and on the same day I embarked the Amera. Embarkation was fast and efficient, and then it was time to take a look at my cabin. And as you can see, this is a very big cabin. In fact, it is a junior suite. Unfortunately, I cannot afford a cabin like this, but due to a cooperation with Reisen, I was able to get this cabin that has not been sold for this cruise, so I was lucky to get a cabin of this size. As you can see, it has a nice desk, seating areas, nice double bed, and a spacious and huge balcony with a sun lounger and chairs. And I also have a big bathroom with 2 entrances. Only downside is it still has a bathtub. For me that's fine, but for older guests this might be a problem to get in, but this will be changed anyway when the ship is going into the shipyard at the end of this year. Then all cabins will receive showers. Behind us was the Manara, a ship that will sail for Saudi Arabia in the future, and then it was time for the safety drill. Soon after, we left the port of Bremerhaven in northern Germany and headed to Norway. Soon after leaving the port, we dropped off the pilot. Here you can see the pilot boat coming to pick up our pilot, leaving already during the start of the sunset. And already the first sunset of the cruise was supposed to be a very nice one, a very scenic one, and we will take a look at that soon. And as I said, this video will not end here, obviously. We will continue with the next 2 days. Next day will be a day at sea, and then we will be in Norway. As we have a lot of days at sea on this cruise, which is 16 days long, I will not make an extra video about days at sea, but instead I will include them in the other videos about the ports. Just like in this case, here we are now on day 2, the day at sea, and of course you can spend this day at sea by attending the entertainment program. I do not need this, so I was enjoying my free time here at the bars. Found out that nobody else found the panoramic lounge yet, so I had this whole lounge for myself. But then there was the single travelers meetup, and then I went back to my cabin and enjoyed my balcony. And soon after it was already time for the first of 3 gala dinners. And here you can see how the food is looking on a cruise ship of Reisen. As you can see, it's looking very nice, and it was also very tasty, high quality of food. And I was very happy with this. And that's already it for the day at sea. Here we have the second sunset of the cruise, and also the second one. It was a very nice one, and of course I enjoyed this on my balcony. And here we already have day 3. When I woke up, we already arrived in Vik in Norway in the Sognefjord, also called Vikøy, and it was a tender port, so our ship was lying in the roads and we took the tender boats to go ashore, which always offers some fantastic views of your cruise ship, in this case the beautiful Amera of Reisen. On this day I decided to explore Vik on my own, as it is just a very small city. I was searching for a hike, found it on the website All Trails. Yeah, it was a short hike of about 12 kilometers with a bit more than 300 meters of altitude difference, and it turned out that I was doing the exact same hike that was also offered as an excursion, but for me that's fine to do it on my own, so I can go on my own speed and I do not need all the explanations. Here we have the main site on this hike, and this is a church. It is the so-called Hoppestad Stave Church. You could also visit it from the inside, but you have to pay a fee to see it from the inside, and I didn't want to pay that, so I just walked past it. I walked this hike the other way around than the group was doing it, and it turned out that my way was the easier one because my way up was not too steep, mostly on paved roads. At least until you reach the main road, then you have to cross the main road. After that is just a small gravel way that will get smaller and smaller and steeper until you reach this way here, and then you go to the left, and yeah, here it's not steep anymore. It continues to go on slowly uphill, but in my opinion this is a hike that almost everybody can do who has at least a little bit experience in hiking, and if you have at least a little bit of physical fitness, you will be having no problems at all with this hike. On the way there's a lot to see. For example, here I was watching the bees, as Norway has a very, very beautiful and nice landscape and nature and wildlife, and of course you always have some nice panoramic views in between where you can take a look at Vik and your cruise ship in front of the small village. Also perfect to take some pictures of your ship. And now we are finally at the top of our hike, about altitude of 310 meters. And once again, here you have the beautiful view of the Amera in the Sognefjord, laying in the roads. And here, this terrace, this place is the highest point of the hike. Here we can enjoy this beautiful panoramic view one more time. And then it was time to start our descent back down to Vik. And the descent was quite steep. It's a shorter way, but that means of course it's steeper, and the guided group was going the other way around, so they took this way up, which can be a bit challenging. Of course, it's still not too difficult, but the way that I walked this hike is much easier, so you can decide which way you prefer. The way down is very scenic, smaller paths, and also you're crossing some fields with animals. Here we have some sheep. They were watching me, a bit skeptical what I'm doing here, so they kept their distance, but they were all watching me. That was quite interesting. Here you can see that. And you also have some gates in between to stop the animals from walking around too freely. You have to open and close them by yourself. That is no problem. It was even written there in English and in German that you should keep the gates closed when you're past them. And here you can see some more of the beautiful landscape of Norway. And here we have the second gate, and if you're doing this hike, please don't be scared that the gate is closed. It is just a bit difficult to open. As you can see, you need a bit of force to open the metal bar, so don't be scared, don't climb over the gate or go back or something, just use a bit more force and it will open. And here we are back in the city of Vik, the higher parts of the village, and here we can see the second famous church that we will pass on our little hike. That is the Hove Stone Church, and after that it was just a few minutes until I was back in the center of Vik, where I did some souvenir shopping, and then I took the tender back to our beautiful Amera. And once again, taking the tender boat always offers fantastic views of your cruise ship. Of course, then I went back to my cabin, and soon after we had all guests back on board and were ready to leave the port of Vik and the Sognefjord, the scenic sail away, and then we were heading to our next destination, our next port. But that will be the topic of the next video. Of course, we will have a few videos now about this cruise on the Amera. Here you can see when this next video will be uploaded, and also the name of the song. And as always, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider to comment, like, subscribe, or share the video link. And I hope to see you in my next video.